Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So this is the Pocket Rocket KTX Radical Dirt Bike, and I'm going to show you everything you need to know if you plan on buying this thing. So first we'll go over the looks and features of the bike. So it looks pretty much just like a dirt bike except a lot smaller with smaller tires. These are off-roading tires, which means you can actually go off-roading with it. And this is what it looks like when you sit on it. Now, there are foot pegs, one on this side and one on the other side, and you put your foot right on there when you're riding the bike. And of course, vice versa on the other side. So, that's what it looks like when you're sitting on it. Right here is actually the gas. This is a no oil slash gas mixing engine. So you put your gas in there. You put your gas in here. It's a little wet now. And then you put your oil down here at the other part of the engine. I just ran the engine, so probably won't be taking the oil out as of right now. But you put your gas in here. This is your transmission right around here. And this is what connects to the chain, which drives the chain to the back wheel and spins it. And that's the big sprocket gauge that's here. The stuff on this side, so I'll have to switch the camera around. This is the big suspension shock right here that absorbs most of the, bumps when they're going over ground. There's also some more suspension things here that kind of flexes up and down. This is the comfortable seat right here. This thing's real comfortable. I think there's memory foam inside. And you have your back brake and your front brake. Though I don't think you should use the front brake too much, because if you're going fast and pull the front brake, bike will flip and you'll fall. This light does not come with this bike. I actually put this on myself, so it works as a headlight. This is a kill switch you would hit right there to stop the engine. You just press that in and the engine will shut off. So we're going to have to switch the camera around now. Almost just do the bike. The turning radius only turns about like that. So if you want to turn it around, you really have to keep turning it back and forth. Just one downside of owning this bike. But let me bring this closer here. And then move the camera back just a little bit so you guys can see it. Right here. These actually... Oh, that hurt. I hit my knee on the foot peg. Always close the foot peg, guys, when they're doing a review. Or else you bang into things, because these things are sharp on the ends, and they hurt bad. Okay, I'm going to try and get the rest of the review going if I hurt knee. Alright, so this is your starting pulse start here, which you would pull it up to get the engine turning over. If you're wondering why there's tape on here, I put tape on it because one of the fuel lines were rubbing against the carburetor here, and it was actually wearing down the fuel lines a lot. And if that breaks and the engine sucks in air, then it won't start as good, and also there'll be fuel dripping out of the fuel line. So that's why this is taped so it's not rubbing. Looks like it. Rub the whole way through the tape. This is your choke right here. This is push it all the way down. There's a middle choke, which is right about there. And then you put it all the way up for the air filter here to be all the way open. Halfway, half closed. You only put it down if it's freezing out and cold. And then you put it up in the middle, run for a little bit, and then put it up. But I don't need to do that, obviously, or else you could flood it. Moving on to air filter. The air filter is actually right about here. There are two holes up top where it sucks in air, and there's a clip on the bottom, and you can actually pop this out and clean the air filter, but I'm not going to show you that. that's your carburetor right here. And when you first get the engine, or it hasn't ran in a while, there's actually a prime button on the bottom there that you push in to pump the engine, or to pump the fuel through the engine. This is where the exhaust comes out, right about there. And we'll not touch that right now because it's, like I said, it's hot, but that's where the exhaust is. You take this black covering off, and you actually get to the spark plug if you need to change it. And I think that's all the features on the dirt bike. Now this thing, you can actually get it on the Pocket Rocket website for about $400. And it's definitely worth the quality. The top speed on this engine is 50 miles per hour, and it's a 5.5 horsepower Luan engine. So, it does have a lot of torque on it. The one thing I would recommend is I would not recommend riding it too much on the blacktop because it wears down the tires unless you put different kinds of tires on it. But this thing works good. Another thing though, make sure your chain is tight, like that tight, and make sure it's straight. If this thing is if this thing's off by an inch or loose, it can pop off and lock the back wheel up or potentially snapping the chain. So you always gotta make sure this is tight, especially when going off-road. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the starting and running of the engine. So, this is your throttle right here. You push that down with the kill switch. This is the start. Pull it up until it stops. Push it back down 2 times. And I'll just give it a swift pull. Like that. So now, if it's a brand new engine, it may take 3 to 4 pulls before it ends up becoming a 1-pull start. There's also a kickstand on the other side as well. Pulling the throttle here. Pulls, basically spins the back tire there. But that's your throttle you would push down to make it go. And this is all the features if you're planning on getting it. Now, there are plenty of other stuff on here. I'm not really going to go over because it'd be too much time. Like, things that don't really matter, like the mud flaps with decoration, this thing on the back, and pretty much everything is made from stainless steel metal. And there are front shocks on here too that work like they should. There's really, if there was plastic, it's hard plastic, so you don't have to worry about it breaking. But hope you guys enjoyed this review of the bike. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.